Guys, welcome to Black Scout Survival Late Night Live, man. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start off with some quick headlines before we dig in with today's story. First up, Dick Cheney is dead. Former vice president, age 84. And honestly, man, good riddance. The man who helped sell America the Iraq war under false pretense is the same war that sent thousands of U.S. troops and countless civilians to their graves and made his defense contractor buddies rich beyond measure. He was also the architect of the Patriot Act, warrantless surveillance. Patriots love that. This one, Patriot Act. And the forever war industrial complex, man. They'll call him a public servant, but the real ones remember. He was the face of the lie that built the modern deep state. Oil, Halliburton, and blood money. That's not legacy. That's a stain in U.S. history. And just because he was an American vice president does not make him any less of a demon. Next, I'm sure most of you guys heard there was a explosion, man. UPS plane, massive fireball out of Louisville, Kentucky. Cargo plane went up, and right after takeoff, 3 confirmed dead, man. 11 injured. This wasn't just a local crash. This was also a logistic hub for the entire eastern U.S. UPS is one of the biggest distribution centers in the country there. And, you know, man, incidents like this always remind you how fragile the whole grid really is. One spark, one screw up, or one deliberate act, and it can stop the whole system from moving. You know, it's tragic. People lost their lives for that today. And, you know, you probably got some Karen out there upset because their Amazon Prime delivery isn't coming quick enough, you know. And last of the headlines, man, communist Zoran Mandami. Yep. New York City mayoral race. He is the projected winner. He is the projected winner. Okay. Literal communist. A lot of New Yorkers talking about leaving, but he's a self-proclaimed socialist. Okay, backed by the Democrat Socialists of America, pushing free public transit, rent freezes, and higher millionaire taxes. The usual utopian fairy dust that tanks every major city that tries it. He's been leading Cuomo, which Donald Trump did come in support for Andrew Cuomo. I guess it's like lesser of the two evils. I don't know, you know, but which is, I mean, it says everything you need to know where New York is heading. Left of left, bleeding into absurdity. You know, you can expect capital flight, more crime, deeper rift between the working class who want safety, and then the activist elites who want ideology. Again, a quarter of New Yorkers say they'll leave if he takes office. That's a mass migration is what that is. And I'm sure it's going to happen. Nobody wants to live in this, right? The problem is I believe other big cities will follow. The flip is coming. The backlash is coming. And the cultural trench lines will get deeper. I think that a lot of this is coming from a lot of different reasons. You can't blame any one thing. I'm going to talk about some of those towards the end of this video, why America's on a crash course. And we're going to see, in my opinion, a expedited path to destruction. I really do. Okay. Now, let's shift gears, man. You remember Cash Patel? We talked about another day about the same guy that just got caught on the government G5 jet with a personal trip with his girlfriend. Yeah. Now, let me roll this 2023 clip of him railing against Christopher Wray's private G5, saying taxpayers shouldn't be footing 15 grand just to turn that bird on. Listen to him.
Guy, I'm just saying Chris Wray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just a thought.
Minimum.
This guy has totally flipped. I mean, in every sense, he talked about Epstein. The FBI had the files, and now they don't have nothing. It's a hoax. Epstein trafficked girls to no one. And he's blasting Ray for using the G5, and he's using it. And he actually took it off the tracker so you can't see where he's going from now on. But it's just funny how the tune changes once you got the keys. right? Now, a lot of people are still very invested in Charlie Kirk, and I get it. There's too many inconsistencies to the story. You know, I've talked about it well beyond needing to talk about it more. However, I do want to touch on something here. You know, and we had discussed this a little bit. There was a blip on the radar, but it's even coming full circle now that Anna Paulina Luna, right? She's saying that investigators have uncovered foreign government funding tied to assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, you would think that alone would dominate the news cycle for weeks, right? Wrong. The story gets buried almost instantly. The same outlets that scream threat to democracy every 24 hours suddenly can't find time to cover a political assassination with potential foreign links. Why? Because it points the finger at the wrong side of power. Maybe it points at the closest ally. I don't know. But if that claim holds water, if the foreign funds are involved in political violence, then what we're looking at isn't just corruption, okay? Because you got to think, it's not like Charlie Kirk held office. He was just really a podcaster. He did public events, man. He was just a podcaster. And whoever this was, this foreign nation, felt so compelled that his voice was so detrimental to them, and I can only think of one place, that they would have had to, not just corruption, but infiltration, foreign-backed influences, ideological proxies, and information warfare happening right outside or inside of our borders, coming from the outside, right? And the other thing is the push by our closest ally to all these influencers. You can tell them. And if you're following these people, you should stop immediately. Seriously. If they're pushing the closest ally narrative, that they're more important than America and this and that this is a Christian ideology, which is not. Everyone who's chosen is those who accept Jesus Christ, not some nation state government somewhere in the Middle East. It's not the case. So, but you see them, like Ben Shapiro has taken 2 days just to attack Nick Fuentes because of his thoughts, right? He's taken 2 days. I've never liked Ben Shapiro, you know, and really, I don't really follow any of these guys. You know, I mean, the thing is, all of them, both of them that I just talked about, don't really even seem masculine at all to me. I mean, they're not somebody I would look up to for information, truthfully, because they just look a little, you know, soft. But the thing is that you obviously see there's payroll behind this. Why would you take attacks against Tucker Carlson and these sort of people just because they're speaking out? It's supposed to be America. You're supposed to have freedom of speech, but there's blatant attacks by certain podcasters against these voices, right? You should be able to say whatever you want to say. Why is all this happening? You know, they're attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker, and all these folks. Officer Tatum has taken on his whole new role as that. You know, it should be just very apparent these people are being backed. I mean, it's just there's no other reason why you would flip your whole dimension into one realm defending a nation state. That ain't America. It just doesn't make sense, you know. And going back to Cash Patel, while all this story is getting buried about Kirk, apparently the FBI supposedly can't locate a man named Aaron Levitsky. Okay, and I think I got his information here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So Aaron Levitsky here. This guy is Israeli American Jewish sculptor, sniper, working greater self. He loves America, hates Nazi hunter. He has came out against threatening violence towards this Christian influencer named Morgan Ariel, I think her name is, on X. I'm going to post her video. She's talking about it. She shows the threads on the screen of the video. But the Bureau is saying they can't find him. They can't even disclose his country of origin. Okay? Let's play the clip.
So So I wanted to come on here and give you an update pertaining to the American-Israeli Jewish sniper who threatened to take my life. He said he was going to hunt me down like a dog and piss on my grave. So last week, probably thanks to you guys as well for everybody making noise about it, the FBI did contact me and they did reach out to me. They opened up an investigation into the account Aaron Levitsky, and I was waiting for the investigation to come back last Thursday. I followed up with them and they told me that they
I just have to comment. She has some very nice teeth, doesn't she? Very white.
thought that they had located the account, but they didn't have any more information for me at that time. I followed up with them yesterday, at which point he said that he did locate the country that the account was from, but that they could not verify who the individual was, and that the best thing for me to do is to block the account and to let them know if I hear anything else from this individual, but that
So we have, after Charlie Kirk, we have other influencers being threatened, their lives being threatened, and the FBI just says, yeah, just block the account. It isn't suspect, right?
this individual is not in the United States per them. I asked them, of course, in follow-up, okay, well, can you please tell me what country this individual is allegedly in? And they told me, no, they can't do that because it's special secret grand jury information, whatever that's supposed to mean. I guess we're all just born yesterday, and
They're not going to tell you where he's at. And he threatened your life.
And my response to that was, that's very interesting because several weeks ago, there were various political influencers, Laura Loomer being one of them, and also Benny Johnson, who had a whole press conference.
Yeah, Pam Bondi threw out the whole press conference for Benny Johnson. You have to ask why, because they're on the group, the Chosen Ally group.
Someone threatened him. These people not only were arrested, but they had their identities made public, and they were blasted all over the news and all over social media. So, you know, I understand allegedly if this individual is not in the United States that they're not going to be able to arrest this person, but at the very minimum, they would be able to tell me what country this individual is in, because that is very pertinent information. And I did not get a response. I waited yesterday to see if I got a response, and I received no response on this. So I'm just going to assume that this person is in Israel and they don't want to disclose the information, or they're in the United States and they are protecting them. I don't know. I can only let my mind wander because nobody wants to tell me anything. And I think that that's really, really unfortunate. I think, you know, what I told the FBI was that it would be important to know this information because I'm sure that they are aware, there is a lot of distrust right now in our justice system, but nobody seems to care about that. So I don't know. Is Aaron Levitsky in the United States? Is Aaron Levitsky sitting off in Israel being protected, and while American citizens?
Morgan, falsely threatened and dangerous. Okay. You're your own quick reaction for us. So let's talk about the obvious here, though. How does a self-identified foreign linked operator issue threats to Americans on social media and vanish essentially without a trace? And then we have the FBI pretty much pulling cover for him. That's either negligence or complicity. Either way, it screams breakdown. These stories, man, you know, with this lady here. First off, what man threatens women? It's just crazy. And if you've seen the screenshot, he threatened to take her life. So you would think, especially in the climate we're in, this would be taken a little bit more serious by the FBI. But, you know, cash hotels turned out to be a complete joke. But it's just alarming. It should be alarming to American people, man. These stories, again, foreign funding, political assassinations, vanishing suspects, they aren't random. They're pressure points in a system that's starting to tear along every little seam. Okay. Now I want you to look at what's happening culturally. People are angrier, they're quicker to violence, and they're tribal. Okay. When you drive down the road, you probably see more and more people getting upset, more road rage and these sort of things. You're seeing this type of stuff, this quick, angry, everybody's pissed off, everybody's mad, everybody's miserable. It's also tribal. And this is where the things get very dangerous, is the tribal element. You can feel it online. You can see it at rallies. You can see it even in the grocery store. Every part of a faction now, whether political, racial, ideological, or religious. And if you've studied history, because I always love to bring in historical references, because if it's happening now, it's happening before, and it's going to happen again. It's just the way the cycle works. You can learn through history pretty much everything. It's exactly how the Balkans fell apart. Exactly. I went to the Balkans right at the end of their war. In Yugoslavia, the fractures were sudden. They simmered for years, ethnic, religious, and regional tensions until one spark hit dry grass. Neighbors who lived side by side for generations turned on each other, man. Militias formed overnight. And once the violence started, it couldn't be contained. It wasn't about resources anymore. It was about revenge, identity, and fear. And let me tell you, the militias there, I mean, they were defeating the military, okay? And it was horrible, man. I went to regions there that there was like hardly any men, because even down to the boys were fighting. Now, it's a paradise to go over there as a young man, because there's nothing but women there, right? But now you look at America, we're not there yet, but we are walking the same path, ladies and gentlemen. Step one, people stop seeing each other as fellow citizens and start seeing enemies. And you see that. Republican, Democrat, white, black, Christian, whatever, right? You're seeing that. You're seeing the enemies structure happening now. Everybody is getting in their tribe and placing various enemies, okay? Step two, the institutions that use to mediate these things, courts, schools, the press, stop functioning, or they pick sides. The courts are not functioning. Criminals get slap on wrist, right? Schools, I mean, just, you could go down that for a while. The press, they're obviously very ideological, and they tell lies, propaganda. Step three, violence becomes acceptable, justified, necessary. And you can see that right now. Just the other day, my video with EBT, I had a lot of people defending. There was a black lady stating that she was going to hunt white men. And then I had some commentators saying that, well, we're oppressed. We've been oppressed for hundreds of years. So now it's, hey, I'm oppressed. So the justification, I'm oppressed, I'm a victim, so I should be able to hurt you. And then that it's necessary because I need food. Instead of working, no, I want to steal it, right? Step four is territory fractures, not just geography, but digital and ideological territory happening right now, and physical. Okay, you're about to see it happen up in New York. Trust me. We already have our proto-militias, our gangs, and our political street armies. We already have law enforcement that has lost control in major cities. So much so the National Guard has to go into these places because they're not doing anything. During 2020, I've seen officers after officers standing by just watching violence happen. And then you see these auditors where there's cops walking around kind of berating just regular citizens not doing anything wrong, maybe speeding. Next thing you know, they're getting tased or pepper sprayed. We already have neighbors afraid to talk politics at the barbecue because it might blow a freaking gasket on the friendship, okay? This is not the America we knew, man. This is the prelude to the tribal war, okay? And the splintering of the American mind, every headline you see, Mondami's socialist wave, Luna's buried investigation, the Levinsky threats we just saw, it all points to one reality. The country is splitting into tribes. Inside the GOP, you've got three distinct camps now. You've got the establishment class who will sell principle for a seat at the globalist table and bought out by our greatest ally. The populist nationalists who still believe in America first. And then MAGA, which is following Trump no matter if it's left or right, okay? You have Democrats, the same thing. You've got the traditional liberals, the boomers, okay? You got the neo-authoritarians, and then you got the hard left activists trying to reshape reality itself, trying to make, when you go and check your gender, you can put kitten on there, okay? Everyone's convinced that one side, the other side is evil. And once people believe their enemy is evil, that's when violence becomes easy, okay? You see it just like in our own side. I can see it in my videos. Whenever I question anything that the Republican does, the administration or anything, I get attacked by my own people. I say anything about Biden administration or anything else, I get attacked by my own people. We also had the Biden administration for years pumping in immigrants. Today, I've got a clip I'm going to play for you where it's not a conspiracy. I said it. I actually got hit for it maybe 3 years ago on a video because they said it was not factual. But it's been proven now that they were trying to get the immigrants here. I said, you can go watch my videos on it, to get them in, speed them through to get through to vote. Check it out.
It for your audience perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions, and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies, for crimes that threaten public safety, and they are refusing to hand these criminal illegal aliens over to ICE. Instead, they're freeing them back into the cities to offend and offend again. By any definition, what California is doing is criminal. It is a violation of our laws. It is one of the most heinous things that I...
Yeah, so you heard the man himself. He's stating it. Well, we knew all along, man. The conspiracy theories just keep coming true, right? So, and once people believe, guys, their enemy is evil, that's when violence becomes easy. That's when people start saying, you know what, they deserve it. That's when the government justifies crackdowns, right? Oh, man, you know what, we're going to have curfews. We're going to bring the National Guard, martial law, and then mobs justify murder. We saw it with Charlie Kirk. We saw them out there protesting, making fun of that. Could you imagine that? A man getting murdered and then people making fun of it. History says once you cross that line, there is no going back peacefully, man. The Balkans proved it. Rwanda proved it. And every collapsed civilization proves it. And it's not just about politics doing it. It's technology amplifying it. Algorithms feed outrage. Outrage breeds hate. Hate leads to action. We've seen it. We've seen the hate being brought online and then escalating into real life, real time. Okay. You don't need a unifying narrative anymore. You just need millions of angry people convinced the other side's trying to destroy them. And that's where we are. So you have to ask what happens next. Well, what happens when you've got foreign money manipulating media? Extremists making threats online that just go, you know, but if you made a threat now, it'd be over, right? Cities electing socialists, right? And you have citizens, obviously, either being prepared or fear. They're arming up. You get a country ready to break, and not from an invasion, but an implosion. That's why preparedness isn't just paranoia. It's survival strategy. It's not just gear, food, but mindset. You have to build small tribes, like I've been saying for years, of trust, families, teams, communities that can function when the larger system fails, because the larger system is failing. It is failing. If you're not paying attention, it's failing. I'm telling you now. Every institution is bleeding credibility, right? Everyone thought that once Trump got elected that it was going to be fixed. Can't trust the FBI still. Every community is retreating inward, okay? And when that happens long enough, violence becomes language of politics. We are in the early stages of what the historians will call the American fracture. The warning signs are all here: collapsing trust, ideological purification, selective justice, economic strain, foreign infiltration, and moral decay. No single election will fix this. No politician is going to save you. All you can do is stay alert, stay ready, and stay free thinking, because when the system snaps, and it will, the only people who make it through are the ones who prepared before it broke. Okay. Just a few admin notes real quick, though. Make sure you sign up for my email list. You'll get a free, I'll put the link below, you'll get a free 10 rules to martial law preparedness. And that way you can stay in a loop. Every week we try to drop some intel, like I think tomorrow morning is a gray man tradecraft tip, and also give you, like last week was how to prepare your vehicle and things like that. So we're always kicking those things off. So make sure you sign up for the list, so that way you can get free intel that we're not doing here on the Late Night Lives, just to help better prepare yourself. And that way, if comms go down here, I have some way to keep in contact with you also. Just alternate channels, because it's important. That's important for you as a person, to create alternate channels of communication as well, within your tribe, your family, and things like that. Have your comms, your PACE plan, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency communication plans, okay? Whether it's satellite phone, ham radio, cell phone, freaking carrier pigeon, whatever it is, okay? Have those things in place, ready to go. I also want to mention one of my good friends. He's a patriot, been known this guy for a long time. He has made knives for us over the years, but I don't think I mentioned this, but he makes this tracker version. This is called the Tracker Aphid. But I love small knives like this, because it can be concealed on your person. Okay, this is the Tracker design. So obviously you can be used in self-defense and so on, but also a great small survival utility knife to have on your person. It comes with a Kydex scout carry sheath, so that way you can rig it to your body up here in front, forward of your hip, so you can grab it with either hand. If you're in trouble, you're fighting, you're having to keep one hand at bay, maybe you grab with your left hand to get to your concealed carry pistol to break contact. But these are American made, and he's a craftsman, American bladesmith, certified, by the way. But that's it. There you see the Black Scout Survival on there, and green G10. But great. I love small concealable knives like this, and especially winter. You can have it right here, like it attaches to your concealment belt, like I have here. You can wear it right there, so that way you can get it. Also, go check the shirts. We've got a restocked almost everything. Got a lot of new shirts designs on the website as well. A lot of people ask about them. I hadn't been mentioning them, but they're on the site now. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. Make sure you stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Let me know your comments below on if you think we are in a fracture state where the historians will call 100 years from now. This is the breaking point of the American fracture. Guys, I'll check you out tomorrow night. Stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Black Scout out.